guys, it's Adam here, and welcome to yet another episode of Commenting on Comments, where I comment on the comments you left on the video. So without further review, or no, that's not it. Fuck it, roll that intro. Alright guys, our first comment here is from Creative Tux, and they say, my motovlog helmet has the microphone just tucked behind the cheek pad. He's talking about how I was breathing like Darth Vader on the motovlogs. Works a treat with my GoPro Hero 4, which is the same camera I have, but I use the Hero 2. And I'm going to try that actually. I'm going to try and tuck it in the ear pad. I'll put it in a vlog. We'll test it out in a vlog. And we'll see how that goes. So you guys can see, and I can get an idea too if it works where I put it. So that way there we got an idea if it's a good spot or a bad spot. Hoping for good. Ripe Tomatoes says, I test drove a Grom with the 183cc big bore kit. I'd choose that over a 125cc. Lots more pep. And you can actually get on the highway with it. Still friggin' scary though. Yeah, those Groms are actually pretty cool looking. I've been watching Jake the Garden Snake rip around on his, and it's a cool little bike, but I don't think that'd be a good starter bike for me being, you know, I'm fat. I'd probably crush the poor thing. But I don't think a bike is gonna be for me because insurance is fucking expensive when you have 3 demerits. WTBM 123 says, mount some kind of soft bag or some sort of some sort where the tank was to carry things when you go riding. And I've been thinking about that too now that the tank is gone, putting something there so that I can put tools in it in case, you know, the bikes, they fuck up in the trails. You know, sand gets in the chain and the chain could dislodge. I could have my extra links in there or whatnot. Some fucking chain grease, that'd be good. I've been thinking about doing that. I've been thinking about doing that. Just haven't gotten around to it. And mini bike season's pretty much over. Well, not really. We could still go out, seeing how winter just doesn't want to come around. And I'm okay with that. The stuff says, I think where you are talking about putting the mic should work. Maybe try it and do some Lonely Island mic checks. Lol. Yeah, no doubt, eh? I think that's where Rex said he has his, is in the cheek pad, and same with Struckus. So I'll give it a go. We'll try it out. Like I said, we'll try it out. Well, I'll make a vlog one day and I'll just put that footage in the vlog and we'll see how well it works. Maybe it'll be a windy as fuck day outside so we can test it versus wind. You know, because when you're driving on a motorbike, there's a lot of wind noise, right? Because the wind's coming at you and it's hitting the helmet and all that shit. So we'll see how this works out. Rob's Vlog says, will Windows Movie Maker be good enough to start editing short videos? Gonna start vlogging since I'm laid off. Windows Movie Maker will work. I know a lot of people who use that to edit their videos. The problem is jump cutting. When you jump cut with Windows Movie Maker, you can get away with 1 or 2 jump cuts, but if you do too many of them, the software will lock up and you'll lose your save state. Found that out in the past when I first started making videos in the Skaven days. Actually, when I first started making videos in the Skaven days, I was using a MacBook with iMovie, but my MacBook was slow and serious, and I wanted to use my i7. So I was using Windows Movie Maker for a couple vlogs, and that's when I learned about Movie Edit Pro by Magix. And I switched to that pretty damn quick, but Movie Maker was a pain in the arse. It will work, but if you want to do some jump cuts and take some stuff out, you're probably going to run into problems. Killer Dragon 1 says, so you're going to be streaming a vlogging life from now on. Okay, so this is what happened. I was streaming on Skaven Games for the longest time through the PlayStation 3 and the PC. And then when I got the PlayStation 4, the PS4 streams right from the PS4. No capture card needed. You just link the PS4 to your YouTube Google account. Done. That's it. That's all there is to it. I thought this was great. This is brilliant. I don't need an extra device. I don't need to go out and buy an Elgato. I don't need to go... And it was working fine on Skaven Games until one day, all of a sudden, it wasn't. I clicked the share button. I would go into the stream, say, couldn't start broadcasting. This little thing pops up in the top corner that says... online, I believe it is, and it was gray. Normally it turns red when you're broadcasting. It was gray. You go into the share menu, it says, oh, it's online, it's broadcasting. I go to the Skaven Games channel, the broadcast was there, but it wasn't receiving data from the PlayStation. I thought it was something with the network, so I rebooted the router, tried it again, same thing. I unlinked and relinked the PS4 to Skaven Games, same thing. So then Chuch was like, well, why don't you just try it on your Vlogging Life and see if it does the same thing. Linked it up to Vlogging Life, sure as shit, just started working. And I'm like, what the frig? Okay, so it works on Vlogging Life, it won't work on Skaven Games. This sucks. But I realized something, you know what? It's not like I'm streaming 72 games in a day. It's an extra video on the channel. And if people don't like those videos, they just don't need to watch them. That's all there is to it. It's just an extra video going up there, extra content. And it kind of makes it easier for me to manage the channels because now I only have 2 to worry about. Like Skaven Games, I'm still going to use it because I want to do gameplays of, I want to finish off Red Dead Redemption. And now that I got the Hopage sorted out, or the Hopog, I'm going to continue recording my gameplays of that and editing them up and putting them on Skaven Games. But any streaming will probably be done to Vlogging Life until I can get Skaven Games sorted out. But so far, streaming this Vlogging Life has been working out and been getting good feedback. I only had 5 people threaten on sub, but you know, if they feel that's what they got to do because they don't like what I'm doing with the channel, by all means, see you later. There's nothing I can do to stop you. Big Daddy 2001 says, do you remember when the internet first came out? Only had Prodigy and American Online as ISPs. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Lol, I used to have BBS back in the day called Maniac's Madhouse. Oh, but I used to run a BBS called Temple of the Dog, and my name was Skippy the Bitch. Yep, fucking did that shit. Oh, BBSs were badass. I used to have 2 phone lines at my parents' house. I used to have a double dial-up so people could log in and play Lord together. Legends of the Red Dragon. Yeah, you fucking know that game, bud. Every BBS had Legends of the Red Dragon. Come on. Oh, BBSs were the shit. I didn't get internet until like 98 when I started college because we had a free dial-up from the college. Slow as tits. Oh my god, I don't miss dial-up. Honestly, I still think the best punishment for children nowadays, if they're misbehaving, don't take away their iPads and shit. Give them a fucking computer with a dial-up modem and make them dial up into the internet. Watch them struggle. That'd be brilliant. Spackmaster Chavez says, I can drive perfectly fine smoking marijuana and definitely cannot drive drinking. I don't drink really, but the few times I've had the few times I have very hard to drive while intoxicated on alcohol. I had a hard time reading that, but I'm sorry. I know I can't drive when I'm on either or. I know that for a fact. That's why, like, for me, marijuana, I don't smoke all day. I can't. There's no fucking way I couldn't function. For me, marijuana is, okay, the garbage is out. All my chores are done. I'm done my shift at work. I'm going to watch an episode for 30 minutes or watch like McJuggernuggets or whatever the hell it is on YouTube, kid behind a camera video. Okay, I'm going to watch that and go to bed. So I'll have a pipe. And then after I'm done watching the video, I go to bed and I fall asleep right away. That's what I use it for. I don't use it recreationally. I use it medicinally. And I know for a fact, like I guess if I was the kind of guy who smoked all the time, every time, gradually my body would adapt to it. And I wouldn't even get the effects that I get now. I like the way I use it because it solves a problem I've had for a long fucking time. Spackmaster Chavez again says, I was wondering why you always mention just Colorado. Oregon has legalized marijuana for medicinal and recreational use. Washington State has legalized marijuana also. So give us a shout out once in a while. I'm sorry, like when I used to watch all the marijuana guys on YouTube, like Citizen J and Token Daily and Haley Sorex, those people were all from Colorado. So that's the reason why I refer to Colorado a lot. It's because, not because I don't know much about it. Well, I don't really know much about it. I just know Colorado was the first, and they're the ones always mentioned in the media about, you know, making all this money off of legalized marijuana, putting it back into the school systems, so on and so forth. It's always Colorado that's mentioned. You never really hear about Washington doing that, or Oregon doing that. Oregon? Oh, sorry, I'm fucking that up. But yeah, like it's pretty cool. Like I'm thinking, I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in Canada when we get it legalized up here. Like, are they just going to take that money and then fucking blow it on wicked parties for the Canadian White House, or are they going to fucking put it back into infrastructure, try and get more jobs up here, try and get some manufacturing up here? Give us some fucking hope. That's a hope for dope. Hashtag hope for dope. Dope for hope? I don't know. Fuck, figure it out. Derek June says, Adam, are you going to give us a last day of work parking lot happy dance? Could happen. It could happen. It could also be a sad moment because keep in mind, I've been working there for 13 years and I honestly thought when I got that job, that was the last job I'd ever have to get. And I never thought I'd be back on the EI line writing up resumes hunting for a job. I never actually thought that would ever happen. I figured I got a government job, I'm fucking set for life. Pension, got benefits, set for life. And then all of a sudden, liberals get in, Bell buys company turns to shit, unemployment, you know what I mean? It was a kick in the doorstop, big time. Pringles Mustache Guy, fucking awesome name, bud. What were some of the costumes you dressed up for Halloween as a kid? Oh, fuck sakes. The one I remember the most was me, my buddy Jean, my buddy Doug went as Wayne's World. I was Garth. Yep. I don't even know. I gotta see if Mom still has those pictures. If she does, or actually it is my brother who has the photo albums now. Somebody has the photo albums. I know Dad took a couple old 35 Mike fucking pics of us. It was me, my buddy Doug, and my buddy Jean. My buddy Jean was Wayne. I was Garth. My buddy Doug was Phil. Fuck, did he ever look hilarious? He looked like a train wreck. Like Phil, like when he partied too hard, that's what he went as. And I remember the one door we went to, the guys are like, oh, it's Wayne's World. And he looks at Doug and goes, holy fuck, you look like a wreck. And he goes, yeah, rough night. It was a funny time. And like for Garth Algar, I wore Dad's, Dad had these like fucking hipster nerd safety glasses. So I wore those, but they didn't have the side things on them. It was just like the glass and the frame. And I bought a blonde wig, and I didn't have the beard and the mustache or anything. And yeah, it worked out great. And I wore the same, like the fucking plaid shirt and all that, and the jeans. And I built myself the belt with the radio dials on it and all. I went balls to the walls. Had a soldering iron on my side, has this little zapper gun. It was a good time. It was a good costume. That was one of them that I went as. Did a lot of like vampires and other things like that, but the most memorable one was going as Garth Algar, and we went as Wayne's World. We're too young to drive, so we couldn't have a Mirthmobile. That, and you try and find a Mirthmobile. They're not easy to find nowadays. Randy Darkshade says, what's the point of having consoles anymore? The way games are played these days, you might as well just buy a fucking PC, lol. Well, some of the people I play with don't want to spend that kind of money. Like, let's face it, a decent gaming PC, you're looking about $1,200 for like something that can play most games on moderate settings. You know, you'd at least want an i5. You'd at least want a NVIDIA 960. You'd at least want 16 gigs of RAM. 8 gigs you get away with it, but you'd really want 16 gigs of RAM. You'd want a good motherboard to sit all that shit on. And you'd want a nice case that can cool. Now you can buy a prefab, but then you run into the risk of, what kind of motherboard is that? Oh, it's a MicroStar. It's going to crack if I overheat it. Garbage, you know? Where a console, it's like $500, it'll play every game you stab into it because the games are written for it. I just wish you could run a freaking keyboard and a mouse on them for the FPSs, because man, playing FPS with a freaking controller sucks. No accuracy. It's garbage. Like, it hasn't been a controller. So far, the best controller I ever used in my life is the Xbox 360 controller. Yeah, like it's still nowhere near the accuracy of a mouse and a keyboard. But anyway, people, that's all we got for this episode of Commenting on Comments. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, click that like button. Any questions, comments, concerns, stove them down below, because I use them for commenting on comments, and that's freaking awesome. So until next time, people, thanks for coming out. Thanks for liking the video. If you didn't like the video, can you give it a like? I'd fucking love that. Thanks for watching the video on top of that, because without you guys, frig, I probably wouldn't be making these videos. And until next time, guys, peace the frig out. Oh, and I love your faces.